again.
Hello everyone, welcome back to FPL Ethan. So in today's video, I'm going to be going through my FPL lineup for game week 12. Make sure to like, comment and let me know your FPL teams down below, and let me know what you think of my FPL team coming up. So I'm playing for game week 12 a 4-3-3, starting with Ramsdale in goal. I know he's not the best option, but he is a regular starter, so he gets those minutes under his belt. And even though he plays for Southampton, who conceded a lot of goals, I needed to budget for the rest of my players, as I don't see, if you're looking to play FPL strategically, I don't see your goalkeeper being imperative in terms of your limited £100 million budget finances. So when managing your finances, I'd say focus more on your midfield and your attackers rather than your goalkeeper. However, do play a goalkeeper that plays, because I was underestimating the value of a goalkeeper, and I was so obsessed with putting all my money, splashing the cash onto the midfield and attack, that I couldn't even afford a goalkeeper who plays. So do try to get a goalkeeper, who obviously starts. But with Ramsdale, he's a good option because of his minutes, and I know he's not the best because of his team. But anyway, moving on to my four at the back, we've got Ezri Konsa, Van Dijk, Mazraoui and Livramento. So I'd say that they are pretty good, solid FPL options. Right there, I've got three fullbacks. So, depending on what system they play, when they're attacking, they can always, move forward, create overlaps, put balls in the box. So, as a fullback, you can definitely attack and join the counter-attack as well, out wide. When your centre-back has the ball, you can make overlaps, like I just said, around the winger, or the midfield can play you a pass to play and cross to strikers. So there's definitely, more opportunities for fullbacks as opposed to centre-backs. And assessing each player that I have, Van Dijk against Southampton away, I think that's a real good game. Probably one of the most sure games of the season that Van Dijk could keep a clean sheet against a team who's bottom of the league and struggling. Livramento for West Ham at home. He's improved so much under Eddie Howe, and West Ham at home, Newcastle should get the job done, and they could definitely keep a clean sheet there. Konsa, regular starter for Aston Villa. He's got good minutes. He's playing Crystal Palace at home, so that should be a good fixture. Even though they're in a bit of a rough patch in Europe at the moment, and in the league results aren't going their way, they can definitely find their feet, and Konsa could definitely keep a clean sheet for Villa. And also with Mazraoui, regular minutes at Manchester United. Even though Ruben Amorim is under the new takeover, he's a very talented left back, and against Ipswich away, even though Ipswich are overlooked and they are a good team, there's always a chance that United players for this game week could do something. So assessing that, I think I've got a fairly well-rounded back four, considering what's later to come in my team in terms of budget. Okay, so now moving on to my midfield. Three centre mids in my 4-3-3 style for the game week 12 FPL week coming up. And I actually think I've got a pretty strong midfield here with Saka, Son and Gordon. I think all three of these players are very valuable in FPL right now. They're hot takes for FPL owners, and I think they all have lots of quality on the pitch. Like starting off with Gordon, he's so fast, so agile, good crosser of the ball, good shooter, very dangerous, gets into great positions. And likewise with Saka, linking up with the fullback, cutting inside and shooting on his left foot, which he's very good at. And Son, who's a creator, who's very technical with the ball and can cause a lot of problems for other opposition teams. So I think I've got a really strong midfield here, and I can see, Gordon against Newcastle United, against West Ham, at home. that's a brilliant fixture for him to capitalise on and get some goals and hopefully points in your FPL team. And Saka, Forest have just come off a 3-1 loss to Newcastle, and I think he's definitely a brilliant option for this game week. Definitely won't be surprised if you see him get goals and assists and get loads of points for your team. And Son against City, well, Son's, whoever he plays, he's still a class player, whatever you say. He could play the likes of City and he could play the likes of Sunderland, but, he could still put in the same performance despite the game and despite the calibre of the game. He could play Champions League and do well, or play, an FA Cup first round tie and do well. That's the player he is. He's a veteran of the game, and he should definitely be respected in the FPL niche. So yeah, I'd say that Son, Gordon and Saka, I'm very confident about going into game week 12. And moving on to attack, we've got a front three of Strand Larsen, Haaland and Jackson. I think this is actually a very strong, very expensive front three, except for Strand Larsen. But overall, I think I've balanced my team so well that I've still managed to carry out a decent front three. They've all got great minutes. They all start for their team. Nicholas Jackson's got 7 goal contributions this season. Haaland, I don't know how many he's got, but he's got the most goals in the league, I think. So he's definitely a keeper. And Strand Larsen has done well recently, and Wolves are turning themselves round. And I can honestly see in the next 5 to 6 weeks that Wolves will turn themselves around based on the fixtures they have and the squad that they have, and they can build and keep building. And I think they will pick up results. And I think Strand Larsen could be the subject of getting those results for Wolves. So assessing these 3 strikers for this game week 12, Jackson's got Leicester away, Haaland's got Tottenham at home, and Strand Larsen's got Fulham away. So I think all these players can definitely do something in the game, Starting with Jackson, Leicester at the moment lost 3-0 to Man United, and, Chelsea drew 1-1. Chelsea under Enzo Maresca have established themselves as a, attacking, style of play team where they, they've got this stance about them that they know what they're doing. And I think Jackson can definitely score this game, or even score a brace or a hat-trick. So that's why I've put him captain as opposed to Haaland. And, against Spurs, even though Spurs came off of a 2-1 loss to Ipswich, City have always been Spurs' bogey team, or it might be the other way around. I'm not sure which terminology you use in that sense, but, City have always struggled against Tottenham. And I feel like, captaining Jackson this week is, I think, a very intellectual differential as opposed to captaining Haaland this week. Jackson's under 17% ownership in FPL. Haaland's owned by most FPL players, and why not think for this week that Jackson would score more than Haaland based on the fixtures, So that's my thought process for that. And then with Strand Larsen, Cunha is the main man at the moment for Wolves. Don't get me wrong, he's a brilliant player, but in terms of my team and my finances, I transferred Evan Ferguson out for Strand Larsen, and I have Maddison on the bench, so I could have played a 4-4-2 rather than a 4-3-3, but Maddison's minutes haven't been reliable, in the past 3-4 weeks, so I'm not convinced by starting him. So that's why I wanted to play a front 3 with regular minutes rather than a regular midfield of 4. Because I think it's more powerful to have 3 up front than 4 in the midfield. That's just my opinion in terms of getting you the most points in FPL. And it depends on your players, of course, but in terms of the quality, usually I'd say play 5 in the midfield over 3 up front. But if you're going to play 4 in the midfield, I think drop 1 in the midfield and sacrifice a midfielder and play another striker to make it a 4-3-3. That's just my opinion. So yeah, I think I've got overall a really good squad. I can't wait for this game week, and I can't wait for this channel to grow and I've got my community here, and I'm going to post my league in the description below. And so guys, if you've enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe, and comment, who you're captaining this week. Comment your predictions for your team this week. Are you going to win? Are you going to lose? Yeah, so I'll catch you in the next one.